Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your most trusted source for explosive royal investigations and breaking news that others dare not cover. I'm your host, and tonight we bring you one of the most controversial allegations in modern royal history. New evidence has emerged that questions the very foundation of Meghan Markle's pregnancy story. What Piers Morgan is now revealing could change everything. This is an investigation that will shock you. Stay with us. Piers Morgan has never been shy about calling Meghan out. But this time, he wasn't reacting to an interview or a dramatic headline. He was reacting to something far more dangerous: alleged new evidence. Evidence that, according to sources, pulls back the curtain on one of Meghan's most personal claims, her pregnancy. The louder Meghan's silence grew, the louder Piers Morgan became. He didn't just criticize her. He didn't just question her. He went straight for the heart of the story, asking the one question nobody ever imagined would need to be asked. What if the pregnancy the world was told about wasn't real? And with that, we enter the story that has the royal world trembling. Make sure to subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now and smash that like button for this bombshell investigation. It doesn't start in a palace. It doesn't start in Hollywood. It doesn't even start with a journalist. It starts in a tiny costume shop. This shop doesn't sell souvenirs or children's dress-up clothes. It creates hyper-realistic props for films, the kind of pieces that look real even under studio lighting. And according to this shop owner, one day a message arrived asking for something unusual: a custom-fitted pregnancy prosthetic. The request, the owner claims, came from Meghan Markle or her representatives. Not vague, not random, not a simple question. The message allegedly contained precise details, specifications, fittings, measurements, the kind of information a professional needs when creating something meant to look indistinguishable from the real thing. And just like that, a private inquiry became a public earthquake. Because if there is any truth to this accusation, it doesn't just challenge Meghan's story, it rewrites it. If Meghan could reinvent her personality so completely, could she reinvent other parts of her story too? This is where the story becomes more than whispers. The shop owner didn't claim a casual inquiry. They described a professional-level commission. Their shop specializes in high-end theatrical props, hyper-realistic body pieces, pregnancy bellies designed for actors who need them to look real from every angle. According to the source, Meghan's alleged request wasn't for something off the shelf. It was for something custom-built, shaped to her body, created with precision, and intended to withstand real-life movement. The owner said they were shocked. Requests like these usually come from film studios, not royal households. And this is where Piers Morgan stepped in. He looked at the accusation and asked the question that millions were afraid to say out loud. Why would a pregnant woman need a prosthetic belly? It wasn't a tabloid question. It wasn't a cheap shot. It was the question that turned a rumor into a national conversation. This is where the story truly begins. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Royal Daily Report to stay updated on this explosive investigation. This is where the story reaches its emotional peak. Meghan didn't just announce her pregnancy. She built powerful, heartfelt stories around it. She spoke about the loneliness of carrying a royal baby under global judgment. She described her miscarriage with painful honesty. She talked about postpartum struggles, mental health, and the pressure to appear strong, even when she felt anything but. These were moments that connected her to millions of women, moments that made her seem human, vulnerable. But now, with the accusation alive and unanswered, those emotional confessions sit under a new kind of shadow. Not because they aren't true, but because the context might not be what the world believed. If a prosthetic was involved, then the emotional speeches would be reinterpreted through a different lens, not as raw vulnerability, but as a crafted narrative. And that is why this story hits so hard. It doesn't just challenge an event, it challenges a history, a public journey, a deeply emotional chapter Meghan shared with the world. It introduces the possibility that the vulnerability people connected with was not a window into her real life, but a piece of a larger, controlled image. And if the pregnancy narrative is questioned, what else might unravel with it? Subscribe to Royal Daily Report now and hit that like button to support our groundbreaking investigations. Every major story has a moment where the spotlight shifts. And in this one, it shifts straight to Prince Harry. Harry wasn't just a husband during Meghan's pregnancy. He was her protector, her voice, her shield against the world. So, when the allegation of a prosthetic belly surfaced, people began asking the question no one ever expected to ask. Where was Harry in all of this? There are only two possibilities, and neither is gentle. Option 1, Harry knew. If that's the case, then he wasn't just a witness. He was part of the construction, a partner in a polished narrative presented as real life. Someone willing to let the world believe something that may not have been true. Option 2, Harry didn't know, and that possibility is even more troubling. How does a man living with his pregnant wife every day not notice something so significant? How is it hidden? Why would he be left in the dark? That would point to a deeper fracture, one of secrecy, control, or distrust inside the marriage itself. Neither answer is simple. Neither answer is comforting. This chapter isn't about blaming Harry. It's about acknowledging that the allegation doesn't exist in a vacuum. It lands directly in the middle of their relationship, testing the foundation of the story they've been telling since leaving the royal family. And whether he knew or didn't know, either path cracks the fairy tale just a little bit more. Make sure you're subscribed to Royal Daily Report and have smashed that like button for more shocking revelations. For Meghan and Harry, reputation isn't decoration. It is their entire currency. They no longer hold royal duties, royal roles, or royal protection. Their influence comes from their story, their struggles, their reinvention, their emotional truth. But allegations like this don't just bruise a public image, they shatter it. Hollywood operates on trust. Brands partner with stories that uplift their own. Producers invest in narratives that feel authentic. If a lie sits at the center of that narrative, especially one involving motherhood, vulnerability, and emotional honesty, everything built around it becomes unstable. This is why the entertainment world is watching silently. Not striking, not announcing, not condemning, just watching. Because no one wants to be attached to a figure whose story might collapse under documentation. And no one wants to stand beside a brand whose foundation may not be real. If even half of this allegation is true, it recasts Meghan's speeches, interviews, and advocacy in a new, difficult light. And the people once cheering begin to step back, not in anger, in hesitation. Even the biggest accusations fall apart if there's no believable reason behind them. Hit that subscribe button and like this video right now to stay informed with Royal Daily Report. So, the next step is understanding the pressures Meghan faced, the one sources acknowledge. From the very beginning, Meghan lived under more scrutiny than most new royal women. Every angle of every photo was dissected. Every gesture became a headline. She wasn't just joining a family. She was stepping into a centuries-old institution, where tradition is everything. Sources close to the couple say Meghan worried deeply about pregnancy changing her body. That she feared losing control of her appearance in a world where cameras never stopped flashing. That she wanted to maintain her figure, her image, her confidence, everything she had worked for in Hollywood and beyond. There's also the strategic angle. A real pregnancy comes with unpredictability, swelling, exhaustion, complications, timing issues, security risks. A private controlled process might have felt safer, cleaner, easier to manage. And then there was the image factor. Meghan and Harry were shaping a story, one of breaking traditions, surviving pressures, and stepping into empowerment. But a story is hardest to control when it's happening in real time. A prosthetic, if requested, would remove all unpredictability. None of this proves the claim, but it creates a picture of a woman navigating impossible pressures where the perfect image mattered more than anything else. It builds a context where the alleged request no longer feels random but strategic. Don't miss any updates. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report and like this video right now. Every expose reaches a point where the truth stops being the center and the possibility becomes the power. This story is now sitting at that point. If the shopkeeper comes forward with receipts, photos, invoices, or emails, this doesn't become a scandal. It becomes a historic rupture, a complete rewriting of Meghan's narrative, her brand, and her public identity. But even without proof, something irreversible has happened. The world has begun to doubt. Doubt is quiet. It doesn't shout. It doesn't explode. It settles in slowly, softly, reshaping how people remember every moment that came before. The belly rubs, the interviews, the speeches, the smiles on royal tours, the tears in private documentaries. People aren't watching them the same way anymore. The innocence is gone. The certainty is gone. The story Meghan once controlled so tightly is slipping into hands she can no longer reach. The narrative she once guided with precision is drifting into a space where she has no voice. And now the world waits not for her next speech, but for the next piece of evidence. Because if this part of her journey was crafted, what else was performance? This is not the end of Meghan's story, but it may be the moment her story stops belonging to her. The curtain hasn't fallen. It has only just begun to rise. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report now and smash that like button for more exclusive royal investigations that reveal the truth. This has been Royal Daily Report, bringing you the most controversial investigation in royal history. Thank you for watching this exclusive report that questions everything we thought we knew about Meghan Markle's pregnancy. If you found this story shocking, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel for more breaking royal news and explosive investigations that the mainstream media refuses to touch. Share this video with everyone who needs to know what's really happening. Make sure to turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we post new bombshell updates on this developing story. We'll continue following this investigation as more evidence emerges. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected with Royal Daily Report. Remember, we bring you the truth that others won't dare to report.